Okay, good morning friends. Last class we discussed about the lesson 8. So in that 8th chapter we have discussed the clinical thermometer. So before that class we have discussed about the laboratory thermometer. So in last class we discussed about the clinical thermometer. What is clinical thermometer? How it is going to be used? That also we have discussed in the last class. Then we discussed about the precautions by using the clinical thermometer. What are the precautions we have to take? That also we have discussed in the last class. Then we have find out the least division. It means least value on the thermometer, that is clinical thermometer. That also we have find in the last class. So now in this class we are going to discuss about the transfer of heat, right? So in this class we are going to discuss about the transfer of heat. So in that conduction we are going to discuss. So what are the conditions for the conduction of heat? So what is conduction, that we will discuss. So what are the conditions, that is going to be discussed here. Next, good and poor conductors of heat. What are the materials? Which are the materials which are good in conductor, which are poor in conductor, and which are not good in conductor? It means insulator. Those we are going to discuss in this class. Then uses of good conductors and non-conductors of heat. So it means non-conductors of heat means insulators only. They are the bad conductors of heat. That is also we are going to discuss in this class. Now last, how do woolen clothes keep us warm during winter? So in last lesson, that is fiber to fabric, that is in that animal fiber, we discussed about the wool, that it keeps us warm in the winter season. That also how we are going to once again we are going to discuss here in this class, right? So first thing, transfer of heat. So transfer of heat means what? So always remember that heat or temperature always flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So always heat flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. This you have to remember. Heat is transfer of heat is defined as that heat or else or hotness of object is transferred from higher temperature to the lower temperature. This is we call it as a transfer of heat, right? So we may call it as that is what a heat energy is transferred from one body to the another body when from where to where? From higher temperature to the lower temperature of the body, right? This is the this is the what? Transfer of heat we call it. So transfer of heat takes in three ways, right? In that first way is conduction, second one is convection, third one is radiation. So these are the three different ways from these heat is transferred from one body to the another body. So first, what is the first mode is conduction mode, second mode is convection mode, third mode is radiation mode. So these are the three different modes of transfer of heat from one body to the another body. So in that first one, conduction. So what is mean by conduction? So conduction is a mode of heat transfer in which heat passes through a body from the hotter parts to the colder parts. So it is what? Conduction is a mode of heat transfer. Now only I have told that this is also a mode of heat transfer from one body to the another body, right? So this is conduction is also a mode of heat transfer in which the heat is passes through the body from the higher, it means hotter to the colder parts of the body, right? Or else we call it as a hotter body to the colder body. When both are in contact with each other, then only the conduction will take place. So to understand the concept of conduction of heat, so we require a stand and iron nails. With the help of wax, we are going to attach the iron nails to the stands with a equal distance separated to each other. With the help of candle, heat the stand, then see after some times what happens. After some time the iron stand heats up and the heat starts flowing from the higher end to the lower end, and the iron nails attached to the stands are get detached So this is the way of the transfer of heat from the higher end to the lower end. So this is we call it as a conduction of heat. Conduction. Next, the condition for the conduction of heat. So what are the conditions what are the conditions when the conduction will takes place? Right. So first thing, the two objects should be in contact. Means they are in direct contact. Whatever may be the two objects. So those two objects, if they are in direct contact, then only the conduction will take place. Whether both objects are separated at a distance or far away from each other, then conduction will not take place. Why? Because the heat will not transfer from the hotter part to the lower part, that colder part. Then second point is the two objects should be at a different temperature. Right? If suppose one is at 50 degrees Celsius, another object should be at 30 or below 30. It should be below 50 degrees Celsius. Then only heat will transfer take place. If the both objects are at 50 degrees Celsius, there will be equilibrium. There is no transfer of heat from this object to this object. That's why one object should be at higher temperature and one object should be at the lower temperature. Then only the heat will transfer from the hotter part to the colder part. So these are the two conditions here. Good and poor conductors of heat and insulator. So you know that some materials which are good conductors of heat, it means they gonna allow the heat to transfer through them, and some of them will restrict them to limited amount of heat should be transferred. So and some of them will not allow the heat to transfer from the one medium to the another medium. So let us discuss here. See, first, good conductors. Good conductors means the material which allows heat to flow through them. Right? The materials which allows heat to flow through them, those materials we call it as a good conductor. So in name only conductor. Conductor means what? It conducts heat and electricity. So the good conductors are those which allows heat to transfer through them. Those materials we call it as a good conductors. So example for good conductor. See here, all metals and their alloys are good conductors. All metals and their alloys are good conductor. See example, silver, copper, iron, brass and etc. are the metals which are good conductors of heat. So next thing is poor conductor. So it means, so these are the materials which would allow the heat to flow through them, but in limited amount. It means it restricts the flow of heat in a limited amount. It allows to flow, but it will flow limited amount of heat only to the other parts of its body. Those materials we call it as a poor conductors of heat. So example for that poor conductors of heat are water, air, glass, etc. These are the poor conductors of heat. These are the examples of poor conductors of heat. Next, non-conductors of heat. So non means these materials which will not conduct the heat. Those materials we call it as a non-conductors of heat. It means it will not allow the heat to transfer through them. Right? So it will not conduct the heat. So those materials we call it as a non-conductors of heat. These are the example for the non-conductors of heat are wood, paper, bakelite, etc. are the non-conductors of heat. So next thing, the materials which are non-conductors of heat and electricity are called as insulators. Right? The materials which are non-conductors. So these are the non-conductor materials. Those will also called as an insulators. Right? So examples we all know that mica, air, plastic, rubber. These are the example for the insulators. Okay, next thing is uses of good conductors and non-good conductors of heat. So in the first one, the materials which are good conductors of heat are used wherever heat is to be transferred fast. So the good conductors where we are going to use means wherever the heat transfer is necessary, there we are going to use a good conductor material. And the materials which are non-conductors of heat are used to prevent the transfer of it. So wherever there is the heat we need to stop, there we are going to use the non-conductors materials. So these are to transfer heat we are going to use conducting material, that is good conductor. To prevent the flow of heat, that we are going to use the non-conductor material. The good conductors of heat are used for making cooking utensils. So you know that the cooker, tawa, whatever in our home where while we are cooking, the cooking utensils are made with a good conductors of it. How? When we on the stove, then we keep the utensil. Then after some time it will become hot. So whatever the materials we kept inside that will boil, right? So the cooking utensils are made with a good conductors. Non-conductors of heat are used for making the handles of the cooking utensils. So you have seen the cooker. The handle of the cooker is made with a non-conductors of it. So when you touch the handle of the cooking utensil, then you will not feel the warm. Why? Because it is a bad conductor of heat. So that even the hot utensil can be lifted safely. So it is attached to that cooking utensil because so it is easy to lift the cooking utensil from hot only. So it will not harm our hands. So non-conductors of heat such as brick, mud, etc. are used in house buildings which do not allow the heat from outside to enter the house in summer. So in summer, so the houses you have seen that are made with the bricks and mud. So in that house during summer also you will feel the coolness inside the house. Why? Because these are the mud and the bricks are the non-conductors of it, so it will not allow the heat to enter into the house. Right? So these materials only during winter, which that do not allow the heat to go outside from the house. So those materials, that is bricks and mud only, during winter season, the water will be heat or the hotness is inside the house, that it will not go outside from the house. So there also we are going to use. Many insulators contain tiny pockets of trapped air to prevent the transfer of heat. So insulators now only know that those are the insulators are the bad conductors of electricity and heat. So these have tiny pockets of trapped air. So that's why it will not transfer the heat. So that's why it is called as a prevention, used as a to prevent the transfer of heat. So example, woolen cloths do not allow our body heat to escape to the surrounding during winter due to the trapped air. Right? So why the woolen cloths will not leave our body temperature to the surrounding beings? So it has a trapped air. That's why the woolen cloths will not raise our body temperature to the surrounding. The glass, wool, foam such as polyurethane foam, that is PUF, are used in ice boxes and refrigerators. You have seen that when you open the refrigerator, suddenly you will feel the hot. Why? Because that is also an insulator, right? It means it is a bad conductor of heat. So here are some uses of the good conductors and bad conductors of heat. So the last part is how do woolen clothes keep us warm during winter, right? So in my last chapter only, I have discussed about the woolen cloth. It is a fiber thing, right? So you see here, wool fiber is a porous, right? It means it has many holes. So it has air trapped inside the pores. So that porous has the ability to trap the air inside the pores, right? The air is a non-conductor. Now only I told you that what are the non-conductors and conductors. So the air is a non-conductor of heat, right? It's an example of non-conductor heat. It does not allow the body heat to escape from the surrounding. So it will not allow the body to escape the heat to the surrounding. So as a result, the woolen keep us warm during the winter. So for this purpose only, the woolen cloths will keep our body warm during the winter, right? I hope you understood these all concepts. In next class we will see the further topics of this lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.